Yo, what's good, YouTube? TVD bringing you a beginner guide to Blackout and how to become a better Blackout player. Want to say this isn't for the people that have been playing Call of Duty for a while and also who played the beta and really grinded that for the full week. This is for the people who are, used to play Call of Duty or getting back into it and are hopping into Blackout for the first time. So I just wanted to point out a few tips that could help you become a better Blackout player, help you get some better finishes, and hopefully help you get some wins. So let's just get right into it. So first thing you're going to be doing in Blackout is jumping out of the helicopter and landing. So the most important thing to do with landing, there's a little trick. You can pretty much get from one end of the map to the other by doing this. Is once you jump out, and you'll see it here, is just nosedive until you get to about 70 miles per hour. Once you get to that 70 miles per hour, flatten it out so you're parallel with the ground. And then once you have that, you can pretty much fly to anywhere you want to go, and you can kind of tinker with it depending on how far you have to go. You basically want to land as fast as possible, and also with landing, maneuver it. Once you pull out your parachute, maneuver it so that you can land right in front of a door, right on top of a roof, or right in front of a window, so you can get into the place you're trying to go to and loot up as fast as possible. So I wanted to show you a couple of spots that I like to land that aren't too busy, that you should have some success with if you try these out. So first off, my favorite spot is just south of Rivertown. I call this the Redneck Yacht Club. Redneck Yacht Club, it has a bunch of houseboats around the river, and there are a lot of spots that you can get looted up really quickly and get into the action. So that is one of my favorite spots. The second favorite spot I like to land at, I call it the Six. Shout out to Drake. South of the construction site, you'll see 6 houses. Any one of those houses are going to be good. I like to land on the ones that are farther south. They're a little bit higher up on the mountain, and that's a great spot to land as well. Another spot I like to land is just to the east of firing range. It's right by the Red Barn in the stables. So this is an area where you're going to go in. You know there's going to be people there, but you should get some loot and get into the action right away. And then you can head over to firing range if you're really feeling ballsy. One other spot is just north of Rivertown. This area I like to go to. I don't like to get right in the middle of Rivertown. Where I like to go is just north by the trailer park, right by the gas station. There's 3 spots you can loot, get your loot, and then just keep progressing your way through Rivertown. And another good spot is Turbine. Turbine, I think, is a great spot to land because there's a lot of cover there. There is also a lot of elevation, and it's easy to get out of the buildings and get cover inside the buildings as well. And there's a lot of loot there too. So those are some of the spots that I think if you try out, you should have some success, get looted up, and get into the action. Wanted to talk about looting. Looting is super important, especially right from the start. If you don't have a gun, you're going to be screwed. You want to find any kind of gun, a pistol, a shotgun, that'll do. But once you get past that initial stage, some of the guns that you are going to want to find are ARs. The Maddox, Vapor, and the KN, I think, are the 3 best they have in the game so far. I like to have a sniper personally for a long-range weapon, or at least have a semi-automatic rifle like the Auger. But the Paladin, the Koshgun, the SDM are really good snipers to get. So you want to have a medium to long-range weapon as well as an AR, which is basically medium to close range. So that is good. You also want to grab as much equipment as you possibly can. The 9-bang is completely overpowered right now, so if you can get your hands on as many of those as possible, that's great. Concussion, Semtex, the sensor dart is awesome, and the trophy system is great too. If you can, the sensor dart and the trophy system, if you can save that for the final circle, you're going to be in a great spot, because the sensor dart basically just has a circle. It's just going to ping anyone that's in that circle, so you're going to know where they are, where they're moving. And the trophy system is great because at the end of every circle now, you're going to get spammed with the 9-bangs, the concussions, and the nades. So you want to have something that can combat that. So that trophy system is a great way to do so. Another thing is you have to use cover in this game. It's not Fortnite. You can't just build a wall and just spam an apartment complex out of nowhere. You need to use the trees. You need to use the rocks, buildings, anything to your advantage. So if you are in a situation where you're just posting up and the circle's coming in, you got to be looking 2 to 3 steps ahead and figuring out your route. So using cover is essential in Blackout. Another thing that I think is a very easy thing to work on is using your quick menu. So you pop up your quick menu by pressing up on your D-pad, and this is where you can quickly change your meds, your perks, and your tacticals. So the main thing is to have a useful tactical ready to go. And if you have a 9-bang, make sure that is ready, because if somebody starts shooting at you from behind, you can quickly throw the 9-bang and look to get behind cover and get back in the action. Also, make sure you have a med kit or a trauma kit ready to go instead of your band-aids, because the med kit is just going to get you up to 50 health in a matter of seconds, whereas the band-aids give you 25 health in about the same time. So make sure you have the med kits popped and ready to go there. Once you get a kill, it all depends on if you want to loot that bag. If you are all set with loot, if you have enough ammo, if you have enough meds and tacticals and all that, and you don't think you need anything else, don't loot the bag, because you're just a sitting duck there. If it is in a safe spot, say you kill someone in a building or around an area with cover, then go for it. But if it is out in the middle of the field, do not try to loot that bag. I've done that a couple of times so far, and it has not ended well for me. So that is just a frustrating way to die, especially if you have a lot of kills and you just get killed by someone camping that loot bag or just third partying you. So if you are going to loot it, get in, get out, get your meds, get your ammo, and then get on to the next fight. All right, perks are another thing that you should be using. If you're not using them, I don't know why you're not. There are some very helpful perks. I just want to go over the best ones and when to use them, because when you use them is very important as well. So at the beginning of a game, if you can get your hands on Dead Silence, Looter, Skulker, and Awareness, pop those right away. So Dead Silence and Skulker basically make you almost completely silent. Looter is just going to allow you to find, all the important loot, the good guns, the armor, and all the tacticals that you're going to need. And Awareness just really amplifies the enemy and their footsteps, so you can know where they're coming from. In the middle of the game, most of your fights are going to be from medium to long range, so your footsteps aren't going to be the biggest issue there. I would say if you can, use Medic, use Engineer, and Paranoia. Medic is just going to allow you to pop your heals quicker. Engineer is great because if you hear a car, a truck coming up, you can see it through the whole map. You can see it through walls, buildings, and where they're going. And the main thing is you can see where they get out. And Paranoia is just an audible cue that lets you know when someone's aiming at you. So that's always a good one to have, so you know to get behind cover. And at the end of the game, this is very important. If you can, save Dead Silence, save Skulker for the end of the game so you're silent. And you don't really need to use those at the same time. Use one, and then once one runs out, use Skulker. And then Awareness is going to be great at the end. It's just going to allow you to hear everyone. And Reinforced, that is a big one that I'm starting to use more and more, because every time you get to the final circle, like I said, you're getting spammed with all the tacticals and the 9-bangs, which can be super annoying and a really frustrating way to die. Also, Medic is a good one to have at the end. And then lastly, just maneuvering around the map. Once you get to that mid-game, it can kind of be scary because you don't know where people are coming from, and you pretty much just feel vulnerable at all times. So if you can, play the circle. What I mean by that is just make sure you're near the edge of the circle at all times, and just kind of keep playing it where you're either going left and right and just moving around, maneuvering around, and just figuring out where the gunshots are coming from, and try to get yourself in a good spot. So what I like to do is basically play the storm. I want to be as close to the storm as possible and just keep moving in on the circle and just keeping an eye on the storm and making sure no one's flanking me. So that just puts you in a great position, knowing that everything is going to be in front of you. So guys, that's going to do it for this beginner's guide to Blackout. I hope it helps. Let me know if any of these tips have really made your game a little bit better and helped you get some better finishes. I will be coming out with a more in-depth Blackout guide, basically on how to get more wins in the game, because that's ultimately what you want to do. But once again, I hope this really helps you out. If it does, if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.